Hi out there. Today, I want to talk about a really sensitive topic that I'm actually, full disclosure, nervous to even speak out about, simply because it will show my ignorance. But it's the only way to get to the heart of being able to help. The topic I'm going to talk about today is diversity in plant medicine ceremonies, or specifically the lack thereof. And I just kind of want to put this out there as a part of the dialogue around creating equality in the plant medicine space, of course, in the whole world. But the world that I work in is plant medicine, and that's the world that I can make a difference in. There is a decided lack of diversity, at least in the ceremony circles that I've been a part of for 15 years. When I worked at Rhythmia, we had up to 100 people a week, and very rarely were there any people of color. It was primarily white people. Could be the marketing, could be there's a lot of reasons for that. But I come to you all today to sort of explore what is the core reason why we don't see more diversity in a nation that's incredibly diverse. But in the plant medicine space, obviously you see the indigenous people, who are the ones that are often the practitioners, the guardians of these traditions, the tribes that have been, hi Prana, the tribes that have been protecting and facilitating for thousands of years. But there is a decided lack of any other cultural representation. Very rarely do I have a person of color, for example, in the ceremony space. And I want to know why. Is it because, and I'm going to pose like some possibilities that are in my heart around it. It could be because I know that when we come for healing in this vulnerable space, we need to feel safe. And for some of us, safety is only reflected from the space holder, from a person who understands the wound that we are carrying. So, for example, there's a lot of women that come and sit in our circles that are healing from sexual abuse. And many of them express that they would never feel comfortable working through these traumas in a container held by a man. That's not ubiquitous. Some women are very comfortable doing that, but a lot of them would much prefer the safety of a female. So I have to assume, although this is not my knowingness, it's just an assumption, that the same could be true if there's an individual working from the wound of racism, dealing with the reality of living in a world that judges them because of the color of their skin. I'm white. I have the privilege of that. Although I have immense compassion, it's why I'm doing this video. I don't know. That's the truth of it. I can't deeply relate. So I assume that could be one of the core reasons. I also wonder if it isn't an issue of education. How much information around the medicine is shared or permeates the space of other cultures in our nation. And lastly, and it's the piece I can do something about, is the financial piece, is knowing that minorities have less access to resources. The system is stacked against them. So it may be an issue of awareness of a ceremony like ayahuasca or wachuma, but not feeling that they have the resources or the time to commit to it. So what I'll be putting together soon is a scholarship program for BIPOC, for people who don't have the resources to come for healing but are really called. And there will be a nomination system that we'll be creating so that people in our tribe that know people in their lives that want to sit and want this opportunity, that we can have a way to make this happen, because that's the one thing I can do something about, in addition to speaking out, asking questions, showing what I don't know, which is the vast majority of what people deal with in our racist society. But it just felt really important to continue to have this dialogue. If this is something that you are also passionate about, I run a group called the Plant Medicine Healers for Equality. It's free. We meet every month or so on Zoom to have like a deep conversation about how we can be part of the solution of diversity in our culture, but also in the plant medicine space, because that's where most of us are either participants or facilitators, or it's just a place that we are passionate about. So if you would like to join me, please do. My email is kat at afterlife.coach. Just email me there and I'll get you hooked up. It's not formal. But I also welcome comments or emails about your perspectives about all of these things, of how to create more diversity in the plant medicine space and make sure that everyone who feels called to this process has access in one way or another. And if you are a facilitator of these ceremonies and you are of color, please, please, please reach out to me, because I also want to amplify and elevate anybody who needs it, anybody who needs the support to build a tribe, a trusted tribe that are doing this work with love and integrity, because that means the world to me, that as many of us as possible that are coming from our hearts to do this work have the audience necessary, have the sincere seekers that can find us and do the magic of the work with the plant medicine together. So thank you so, so much for listening and for caring about this. I look forward to hearing from all of you, and I wish you pleasant, beautiful, healing journeys.